Gucci Mane Right on the Wall mixtape, I think is the most important mixtape that he has. Not saying it's my favorite, not saying it's the best, but I do think it's the most important. For one, we got the First Day Out song, which is a classic. You put that song on right now and just stop the music, everybody sing that word for word. Top of the Top, episode 260, Stash House Podcast. Your boy Tyler checking in. First time listeners, thank y'all for tuning in. If you tune in weekly, salute, or there's just an episode, some topics you may want to hear about, thank you for tuning in as well. Podcast available on all streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Subscribe to your preferred platform. Like this video on YouTube as well. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Check out this show. All love, greatly, greatly appreciated. Hope everyone had a safe week, safe weekend. Do the same this upcoming week. This week, I'm going in a different direction. I'm going to do a lot more of these in the foreseeable future as well. One, if it's a slow news week, or two, if I just feel like, kicking it with y'all. So this week, I'm going to do an artist spotlight, and I'm going to talk about Gucci Mane. So you saying, Tyler, why you doing this whoop-de-whoop? Well, we had some news over the week, the past week or so, with just, kind of like a downer. So one, just doing it for myself, just so I don't got to come in. Because football. We had some great college games over the weekend. NFL is going on right now as I record. But I just want to, just kick it with y'all this week. Just kick it with y'all, talk about one of my favorite artists. And like I said, I'm going to do this more in the future as well. Not necessarily with artists, but it could be a wrestler or an actor, a certain movie, a TV show or something like that, just to get out of the norm of doing music, sports, wrestling, music, sports, wrestling, just doing something different. You know what I'm saying? Just doing something different. But like I said, I'm going to do Gucci Mane, but first I do want to start with some condolences. Like I said before, some news came out over the past week or so, multiple news actually, that just kind of, I'm going to say, yeah, it had me in a down mood. Like I had to get off social media for a few days, especially after the Rich Homie Quan. I was like, damn, man. Yeah, sometimes you just got to unplug, even if for a couple of days. It's always good to unplug. But I want to send some condolences out first. Appalachian High School in Winder, Georgia. I did my research. Winder, Georgia, it's about 2 hours and 30 minutes away from where I'm at. Sadly, another school shooting, a 14-year-old shot the school up. Unfortunately, 4 casualties, 2 students, 2 teachers. Just sending love and condolences to the family, the friends, those students having to go through that trauma. And I always say, like, it's a reoccurring thing in this generation, probably for the past, 10 years or so, just school shootings. And I promise y'all, man, from my first day of kindergarten to the day I received my bachelor's degree, I never once thought about somebody might come in here and, you know what I'm saying? Like, we heard in middle school and high school on the bus, yo, such and such supposed to fight when we get to school, such and such supposed to fight. But I never thought, what if somebody bring a gun to school? I just never, me personally, I can only speak for myself. You know what I'm saying? Even in college, walking around campus, I never thought about, you know what I'm saying? So it's just unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Prayers go out to the community of that school as well. Just dealing with that trauma, man. It's sad, unfortunate, and sadly it's a reoccurring thing. And like I said, man, it just sucks that we don't have people in charge of this country to crack down on this. Like when kids get involved, and yeah, the 14-year-old is in custody, and so is his father as well. And like I said before, prayers, condolences to that community as well, Appalachian High School. Next up, hip-hop artists, man. First off, Fat Man Scoop. Fat Man Scoop passed away. It was a video. He collapsed on stage the night before. So I'm guessing it's health issues. So prayers, condolences to the family and friends of Fat Man Scoop. If you don't know Fat Man Scoop is, a few songs, and you know him. You know, if you don't know Fat Man Scoop is, you definitely heard his voice. For one, You Got Served. The movie You Got Served. Do I want to say You Got Served is a classic? It's the B2K movie, Marcus Houston, of course, Steve Harvey in there, Lil' Kim make a cameo. It's a movie that we've watched in our community, You Got Served, right? But it's also one of those movies where you go back and look at the detail and the storyline. Okay, they had to do this, to do this, to do this. And you like, fam, reasonably, it wouldn't have been a movie if these guys had logical sense. So that's a question I got. Is You Got Served a classic movie? The B2K movie, Marcus Houston, storyline, everything in general, soundtrack. But the first song you hear on You Got Served is the Fat Man Scoop song, Drop. More notably as well, the Be Faithful song, the If You Got $100 bill, put your hands up. I always got that song confused with Faith Evans, Love Like This before, because they got the same beat. But that song in general, Be Faithful, I didn't know that was the name of the song. I always thought it was If You Got $100 bill, put your hands up. That's how growing up, 2000, 2001, watching different movies, like not You Got Served, but like Save the Last Dance. I always envisioned that's how the club would be when I get older. You know what I'm saying? But now we stuck with hookah lounges. But that song in general is how I always imagine, like, okay, when I get 21, go to the club, you know, they gonna play that dun 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 dun. So I always imagine that. And Sierra Missy Elliott, Lose Control, a song I vividly remember when I was in 7th grade, watching it on 106 Park and being like, damn, this Missy Elliott Sierra song hard. And you got Fat Man Scoop at the beginning. The ultimate hype man, if you want to say. I'm not mad at that. The true definition of an MC of a party, Fat Man Scoop. And he was doing work till his last day, so that was dope. So family, friends, condolences, Fat Man Scoop. But like I said, man, the one that really got me down, the news of Rich Homie Quan. Rich Homie Quan passed away a few days ago. Early college memories. And that was the one post I was seeing going around that I love. From 2012 to 2014, Rich Homie Quan was definitely one of the top ones in the mix. He was in the mix. It was a whole new Atlanta wave that came in. Rich Homie Quan was at the forefront of that. My first introduction to Rich Homie Quan was the Can't Judge Her song. See, I met her at Magic and I don't go that often in there. So I heard that and I was like, okay, cool. But it wasn't until he dropped the Reloaded Still Going In mixtape where he had Party, I Need Like 10, and of course, Some Type of Way. Where I went back and finally listened to the whole mixtape, that's when I heard Investments, Pass Around, Better Watch What You Saying, Difference. What's the other one I like? About That Life. It was the one, Sacrifice. Hurt No More. Like, that mixtape, Still Going In, Reloaded, is the one that got me on Rich Homie. He came back with I Promise I Would Never Stop Going In. That had They Don't Know, Cash Money, Get the Fuck Out My Face with Young Thug, Man of the Year, Reloaded, Walk Through with Problem. But the ultimate one, the one that had me like sold on Rich Homie all the way, when him and Thug dropped that Rich Game mixtape in 2014, I was in Troy, Alabama. Shout my boy Coop. Shout my boy Rashawn. He had a spot to grow. Shout my boy Devin, Marcus, 2K. We thugged out that Grove apartment to that Rich Game mixtape. That Rich Game mixtape changed the game. It kind of gave Future fuel, I think, to drop Monster, because Monster came out shortly after the Rich Game mixtape. The Rich Game mixtape was the mixtape I heard walking in my dorm playing out of other rooms. Like, I'm on the 3rd floor of Shack Hall. I'm hearing one song. By the time I get to the elevator, get to the bottom floor, I'm hearing another song in another dorm room. The Rich Game mixtape, when I put my Mount Rushmore of albums / mixtapes that got me through college, that Rich Game mixtape up there somewhere. Man, that was a great mixtape. And we always said we hate that they gave us that mixtape and then they went their separate ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no argument, I think, for the majority of us, like they said, that 2012 to 2014 era, Rich Homie was doing this thing. But the great thing about that, people saying, yeah, y'all ain't listen to Rich Homie newer music. I came on here last year and said, you know, people been telling me Rich Homie's still in the mix, but they never told me what song to check out. The great thing about it, if you already got 3 classic albums when you first came out, you gonna still be able to do shows for the rest of your career. Rich Homie was just in Columbus a couple weeks ago. And he was booked to come back down here in November. So Rich Homie was still doing shows. Even though it got quiet for him, he was still doing shows off that classic material he already put out. But when I heard that Can't Judge Her, I was like, okay, cool. You know, everybody, they get the hype. I'm like, okay, cool. But when I started hearing Type of Way and Party and I Need Like 10, I went back and listened to that mixtape. I said, oh, yeah. And then he just was hitting. That 2012 to 2014, he was just hitting. That new Atlanta wave, him, Thug, Migos, Rich the Kid, Pee Wee Longway, Jose Guapo, Lobby Runners. Man, that was a time. That was an era. Like, that was my era. Like, that was the era. So, prayers, condolences, Rich Homie Quan, his family, friends. Unfortunate, man. Unfortunate. I put it in the group chat. I said, man, when it comes to artists, not even talking about your personal life, family, friends, just artists that we grew up listening to, we losing a lot of them who are responsible for our upbringing. Matt Miller, Rich Homie, like, those the ones I was listening to, like, and then they passed, you be like, damn. And Rich Homie, he was in the midst, man. You can't take that away from him. Like he always said, I promise I would never stop going in. And that was like peak Twitter era. Peak Twitter era, peak club era. Man, that was an era, man. So prayers, condolences once again to Rich Homie Quan, Fat Man Scoop, and to the family, friends, and loved ones of those tragically killed at the Appalachia High School shooting. Now, like I said earlier, I'm going to talk about Gucci Mane. And this not a situation where I'm be like, oh, in 2000, whatever, him and Jeezy started beefing. No, if anything, this is me welcoming y'all into the timeline of how I became such a Gucci Mane fan. Because that's the thing about Tyler. Everybody know I rock with Gucci. You know what I'm saying? I got people that can vouch for me. In high school, it'll be quiet. We'll be doing a test or something, and the teacher be like, yeah, y'all can listen to music while y'all doing the test, and whoop-de-whoop. I got people that can vouch for me. When the class would be quiet, taking the test, in my headphones, you would just hear gunshots and sirens and a DJ yelling, and they knew I was listening to Gucci Mane. So, yeah. So I just want to give y'all a glimpse into the mind. This really, if I could put it by years, like I said with Rich Homie, that 2012, 2014, for Gucci, this more like 2007, 8, up to 2012, 13-ish. So that's why I'm going to go with y'all with this. So to start off with my early memories, right? This how I got put on the Gucci Mane, right? So of course I heard So Icy with Jeezy. I heard the Go Ahead, the Freaky Girls, the songs we know now as the commercialized Gucci Mane classic songs, right? So I remember hearing those, whoop de whoop, cool. It wasn't until 2008, I was on MySpace, because it was like the last glimpse of MySpace. I remember it. I was like, shit, I'm still on here, you know what I'm saying, vibe and whatnot. I forgot who page I went to. Whoever page I went to on MySpace, they had the live mixtapes full player. Like, you know, you can just copy and paste links, put them on your MySpace. It made it to like where you got the whole my live mixtapes mixtape player on his page. And that was my first time hearing about live mixtape, because I was on that pill. I was like, live mixtapes, okay. He had the full Gucci Mane Trap Tackler mixtape on his MySpace page. And I'm like, dang, dude must really like Gucci Mane. He got the whole Trap Tackler mixtape on. So I was like, I forgot what song played first. Maybe it was Shirt Off. I forgot what song played first, but I listened to it on bruh MySpace page. And he had the Go Hard, Shirt Off, Walk With a Waddle with Gorilla Zoe, Don't Get Mad, 16 Fever was on there, Swing My Dough, a different version of Swing My Door, because Trap Tackler wasn't like the first mixtape or nothing. So I'm on late. So I was like, okay, this Gucci Mane mixtape straight, whoop-de-whoop. Found out doing some more research, him and Shawty Low got a mixtape, Guapaholics. And that's when I first heard this my favorite Gucci Mane song at the moment. It was Money in the Attic. And the DJ that hosted the mixtape, Superstar J Quit, like, this shit is Tyler. This is Stash House podcast history. The DJ was going so crazy at the beginning of Money in the Attic. You got to listen to the Guapaholics version, though. Can't just go on YouTube and listen to Money in the Attic. It got to be the Guapaholics Gucci Mane Shawty Low mixtape version. The DJ just going crazy. And you just hearing the ad-libs in the back, and when the beat drop and the hook drop, it was just like mind-blowing at the time for me. I was like, damn, Gucci going crazy on this. And then I'm listening to other songs with him and Shawty Low on that mixtape. I'm like, I think I'm rocking with Gucci. You get that point, you just be like, I've been listening to Trap Tackler. I listen to this Guapaholics. I'm rocking with Gucci right now. Keep in mind, he still got other mixtapes I don't know nothing about. Fast forward, I'm rocking with Gucci. different songs. Let me just give y'all a sense of the songs I was listening to that made me such a Gucci Mane fan. Kick a Dough. Kick a Dough in My Kitchen. I got a theory. I think he shot both of those music videos on the same night. And like I was talking about a couple weeks ago with his Hood Affairs DVDs, go on YouTube, watch the Gucci Mane Kick a Dough, then watch My Kitchen. Can't tell me they wasn't in the same night. Those two songs, Money in the Attic, like I just said, Ghetto Superstar. They want to jump me and take my starter jacket. 13 years old, but my big bruh packing. They just say they take my starter jacket. It like his flow was like, it wasn't different, but it was like a laid back, remind you of somebody that you went to school with. Like, that's what he reminded me of. Multiple people that went to Russell County reminded me of Gucci Mane. And I could just only imagine, like, dang, that's how Bruh would sound if he would have rapped. So that was another thing that had me. The Love Me song from Gucci Sosa, Ridiculous, one of my favorite production beats ever. Ridiculous. Colors, Blue and White Charger, same color of the Dodgers. He had songs like that. Colors, where he'll say this, the color of this. Nickelodeon, where he talking about Nickelodeon characters, Cartoon Network characters, DC characters, Looney Tune characters. He was just, amongst the trap music aspect of it, we listen to his lyrics and the way he put the lyrics with the song titles. My Rims Dancing, Haunted House. Like the songs and the song titles and the verses and the lyrics he's saying, you just be like, okay, bruh he taking this thing a little bit different than the rest. Like, yeah, you had Tip, you had Jeezy, of course, doing their thing, but the way Gucci, like, you would see a car, you would be riding to the store, you would see a purple car, and you'd be like, okay, Gucci Mane say this car purple like Barney, something like Purple Kush, Barney Kush. You know what I'm saying? Tony Tiger Kush Pat. Like, it was just stuff Gucci was saying in songs. I'll be like, bruh, it's funny, but it made sense. Frosted Flake Diamonds. Like, the foundation of what we see artists now showing off their jewelry and all that. This ain't even all my jewelry. Come on. Like, it's probably a Gucci Mane verse or a Gucci Mane song for every aspect of life, honestly, if we think about it. Next song, On Deck. On Deck, probably the most, what's the best way I can describe it? Because I was like 25 years old when I realized the Gucci Mane On Deck song had like a different culture in like Baltimore, DMV area. Thanks to the internet, there was like the Be More two-step or something like that. So I watched the video, and it was the Gucci Mane On Deck song. I was like, what? So I went to research. I was like, wait a minute. So technically, if you had a party in the DMV and they play Gucci Mane On Deck, which you probably will never hear a DJ play down here unless you probably request it. If you play that in the DMV, they got a whole step line to it, and that just blew my mind. That blew my mind because we got, we down south, we got different step routines, the different songs, line dances and all that. I would have never thought in the DMV area, the Gucci Mane On Deck song would be as popular out there. It was just mind-blowing to me. And like I said, I didn't realize that till I was like 25 years old. So shout out to Gucci Mane. Those are some songs that, got me on board early on. Different mixtapes as well. I'm going to name those later on. Now, the turning point, early turning point of Gucci Mane's career, in my opinion, 2009. 2009, I was in driver's ed class. Shout out my boy Jake. He was up in there with me. A few folks up in that driver's ed class with me. Still listening to Gucci Mane. At this time, he locked up in Fulton County because mixtapes were still coming out. Different Wilt Chamberlain mixtapes were coming out, and they'll have skits on there where you would hear him talking on the phone, and it'll be Gucci Mane live from Fulton County and all that. So he gets released in 2009. We get the Writing on the Wall mixtape. The Gucci Mane Writing on the Wall mixtape, I think, is the most important mixtape that he has. Not saying it's my favorite, not saying it's the best, but I do think it's the most important. For one, we got the First Day Out song, which is a classic. You put that song on right now and just stop the music, everybody sing that word for word. That goes without saying. Then you had Nicki Minaj in the mix. They had the song Girls Kissing Girls. This when Nicki Minaj was rolling with Gucci Mane, but I know she signed to Wayne. So I'm like, damn, Wayne and Gucci Mane co-signing Nicki Minaj. She got to be hard. And that song did a lot for her career as well. And then in terms of commercial success, you got the song Wasted with Plies, which at the time I heard it, I said, yep, that's going to be the one that get him on BET. I don't know if he got on BET for it, but that was the one that changed everything. That's the one that said, okay, this dude, he can make street records, but he got a little bit of commercial success in him as well. But that Writing on the Wall, then you got the 1017 Brick Squad song. And keep in mind, when he away for that time being, because this was like 2008, 9-ish, he was away. This when Waka Flocka came along. And Waka was on some shit like, with the CEO locked up. He just named me on No Pad, No Pencil, Waka Flocka Flame. Everybody like, who's Waka Flocka Flame? He was on the My Kitchen video with the tank top beater, the Hood Affair DVDs, white tank top beater, locks over his face. Like, we knew that was the shooter. But he just came out with Salute Me or Shoot Me, Salute Me or Shoot Me Too, LeBron Flocka James, and then that's Waka Flocka. Gucci Mane getting locked up that early point is what brought Waka along. You had Woo the Kid, you had Frenchie, OJ the Juice Man still. Like I said, Nicki Minaj rolling with him. So when he come out, he got all momentum. DJ Holiday hosting the mixtape. He has all momentum. Gorgeous on there. What's my other? The track with 2 Chainz. What 2 Chainz group name? Duffel Bad Boys. He had records on there. So that's when everything changed. And fast forward from 2009, then you go to 10, 11. We get the Spotlight song with Usher. We getting songs with Swiss Beats. But still, he giving you mixtapes. Mr. Zone 6. Jury Selection, the duets, not duets, the collabs with Waka Flocka, the collabs with Future. And then 2012 is where you starting to see Gucci Mane getting the next generation, fucking with the Futures, the 2 Chainz. Then you bring Migos, Pee Wee Longway, Young Thug, Rich Homie Quan. And that would lay the foundation. I'm sure some people I'm missing. Still rocking with Gotti, Rocco, but we know soon a lot changed to where Gucci had to rock with the new generation because he cut so many ties with the older generation, and that get us to the Twitter rant. That 2012, 2013 era Gucci Mane, we hearing stuff on Twitter. Yo, he done threw somebody out the car, threw a woman out the car. He fighting at the mall. He going this Twitter rant just talking about everybody from Tip to Young Dro to Nicki Minaj to Yo Gotti to Rocco. That Twitter rant is easily top 5 crash out moments in history. I can only imagine if it was like a live interview, but he was just on Twitter because folks was like, is Gucci Mane hat and whoop-de-whoop. He just saying a whole bunch of wild stuff. And fast forward, years later, I ended up getting his book once he got released in 2016. And he was like, nah, that was really me. I was just loaded up on different drugs and all that. So that's when Gucci had to rock with the next generation because he cut ties with the older generation. I want to say they said like Rocco pulled up on him. It was like, hey, bro, what you talk like? They're like, bro, what you? And Gucci was like, he got the ice cream tattoo, all type of stuff during that era. I was worried about him, but he was still giving us some good music. Trap God 2, Trap Back. He was still giving us music to where you like, better throw it off, but damn it, he can make some. Like, Gucci mixtapes could have been albums. Like, yeah, it was oversaturated. Yeah, it was certain mixtapes. Like, I remember going to Seal Road to the spot where you get mixtapes at, and I remember buying, with my mama buying, So Icy Boys Volume 1 and Mr. Perfect mixtape for me. She was like, Tyler, you sure you want? I'm like, Mom, this Gucci Mane. And, like, I remember vividly throughout my high school, my mama telling me, Tyler, if you can know them damn Gucci Mane lyrics, you can know your damn schoolwork. And that always stuck with me like, you know what, Gucci Mane, you don't know what he's saying sometimes. He just be slurring. If I could just mimic him in his songs, surely enough I can go to school and do my schoolwork. You know what, mama, you right. I thought about that. I said, yeah, this man be slurring. Even sometimes, I don't know if I'm even saying the right words when I'm rapping his songs. If I can do this, surely enough, some math problems, some reading comprehension shouldn't be that hard. So I love my mama for that. Yeah, Gucci, like him and Wayne, like when I say my personal When I say top 5, I ain't talking about lyrical, who most content. I'm talking about who I remember getting on the school bus with my regular MP3 player or my little iPod Nano and playing their songs from the time I got on the bus to the time I walked into school. And when I get back on the bus to go home, who I'm listening to. At that moment, from like 2007 to really 2010, 11, whenever Cushion OJ came out is when I started really veering off and checking out different people and all that. But from 07 to 2010, shit, it was Wayne and Gucci. Wayne and Gucci. When Gucci would slip up, Wayne was dropping No Ceilings. When Wayne slipped down, Gucci Mane was dropping Mr. Zone 6 or, yeah, there was the two people I had back and forth. So, yeah, man. Now, let's talk about my favorite Gucci Mane mixtapes of all time. My favorite. Now, some of these mixtapes, I don't know if they're official or not, because a lot of those mixtapes back in the day, they shared songs. Y'all know how mixtapes was back in the day. It's crazy to say that's back in the day now, but the way time operates and technology operates, a mixtape now on live mixtapes, when the last time you went to live mixtapes and was waiting for a mixtape to drop? I think the last mixtape I was on like live mixtapes of that pill watching the countdown. If it wasn't Future astronaut status, it was probably Taylor Alderdice, Wiz Khalifa. I think those the last two I remember, like being on campus or being at home watching the live mixtapes countdown. I want to say it was Taylor Alderdice, Wiz Khalifa, and Future astronaut status mixtape. But after that, it was like, it is what it is. But my favorite Gucci Mane mixtapes, no order. I do have one overall favorite, though. I'll say that for last. So first, So Icy Boys Volume 1. Like I said, I remember going to Seal Road, purchasing that. You had to go hard. When I first heard Make the Trap Say A with OJ the Juice Man, that's a classic. Jury, hearing that for the first time. You Can Call Me Ugly, but you can't call me broke. My Plug Is an Alien. Yeah. Yeah, that's So Icy Boys Volume 1. Trap Tackler, like I said, that's the one I saw on Bruh MySpace page. Wilt Chamberlain, the first Wilt Chamberlain, with the Gucci bandana, Feel Like Cooking, Never Too Much, Crack Pot, Wilt Chamberlain Part 1 and 2, Miss Perfect, Mr. and Miss Perfect. I remember being in college at Troy. And shout out to my girl Tierra. I don't know what Tierra doing right now. Shout out to her, though. But we had journalism class together, right? So we was in journalism class. I think we was in a group. We had a group project, something like that. So we stayed over, went to the library, did some research, whatnot. I didn't have a whip. In college, so she drove me back to my apartment. So I get in her car. We leaving campus, and that's the first song she put on. Miss Perfect. She right. Mr. Perfect. I said, Tia, what you know? Because, I ain't going to say you judge a book, but, she was a black woman and everything, but I didn't think she knew about Miss Perfect Gucci Mane song to the point to where I'm bumping this in college as well. And I said, Tia, what you know about this shit? Like, nigga, I grew up on Gucci Mane too. She's like, nigga, I grew up on Gucci Mane too. I was like, I did not think that on the pull off, like her cranking her car up, this would be the first song she played. And she didn't know I was rocking with, it wasn't like I was in college, like, rapping Gucci Mane lyrics. I was just like, whoa. It surprised the hell out of me. So shout out to her. I don't know what she doing nowadays. Shout out to her, though. But yeah, Wilt Chamberlain, Mr. Perfect. Like I said, Seal Road, bought it. That Mr. Perfect mixtape, Let's Go to War. Shout out my boy Marco Crowell. That was like our ringback tone back in the day. Damn, that was a minute ago, boy. That was a good time. So Mr. Perfect mixtape, Trap Back, Trap God 2, Chicken Talk. Shout out my boy Julius. Mr. Zone 6, EA Sports Center, and probably my favorite Gucci Mane mixtape after all these years came out in 2008, The Movie Part 1 with DJ Drama. Add it up, I'm a Star, Feeling Myself, You Know What It Is with Young Jock, Bachelor Pad, Smoke, Hot Stuff, Show Me, I Live in the TV, Top of the World. That was the one. The movie was the one as well. The movie, like I said, Writing on the Wall might be his most important, but the movie was like, oh, this could have been an album. This should have been an album. And Gucci was known for doing that too on songs, saying, yo, this not a mixtape, this an album. Find out it's just a mixtape. But yeah, man, I just want to do that this week just so I don't got to come in and talk about football and different stats and all that. I want to show my boy Gucci Mane some love. Like I said, if you know me, if you grew up with me, you know I fuck with Gucci Mane heavy. Like I said, I want to do this for a lot more artists, actors, just some stuff to get you in the mind of Tyler outside of, oh, he like wrestling, he like Ohio State, he like the Lakers, football, dude, basketball, dude. I just want to give y'all a glimpse into the life, like walk with me for a minute type episodes. I don't got no name for it or nothing. It's just a show, a podcast, and I'm just veering off of my usual topics. So shout out to Gucci Mane. At this point in his career, man, I think Gucci just need to relax, be a family man, be a dad, be with his wife, get in some business ventures. I'm sure he got some going on now, but, you know, just focus more on that because obviously the label head position, like you losing artists to different things, whether it's jail time, you know, passing away, contract issues, that artist not being as talented as you thought. I think he just need to chill out on being the label manager, being the label overall. Like, I would love to see Gucci find Rocco and they go back together and do a project or something like that. He did one with BG. I didn't listen to it, but I would love for Gucci just rock with, like, the elder statesman and, like, just everything a little bit more. But at the same time, you already did your work. You really don't got to do nothing else in terms of music, honestly. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad to see where he at now. Of course, he got locked up again around 2012, 2013. So he missed that whole Rich Homie Quan, Young Thug, Migos, Long Way. Like, he was there at the beginning, but when these guys start popping, Gucci was gone. Gucci wasn't around when Rich Gang Mixtape came out, when No Label 2 came out. When them boys was rocking, Gucci was gone. It's like Gucci was there at the beginning to prep them up, being at the Brick Factory Studios with Young Dolph, and, like, they said it on numerous interviews. Yeah, Gucci had us working to the time he went away for jail that time. All them boys was in there working. And when he went away, they carried that torch for him. And by the time he got home in 2016, the game had changed so much to where he had to, okay, I know I rock with Dolph. He said Future was mad at him because he did a collab with Lil Uzi, and he put it as a mixtape, and he like, Uzi wasn't tripping. He did the same thing with Future. He like, Future started tripping. And he was like, you know, bro, I just got home thinking y'all still doing mixtapes. I don't know nothing about this streaming service and all that. So, yeah, he did some adjusting when he got home, but, you know, sadly, a lot of people like Takeoff, Dolph, Trouble, Thug gone, Shawty Low. He was like, the day he got off probation so he could probably talk to Shawty Low or see Shawty Low. That's when Shawty Low got in that accident and everything. So, yeah, man, a lot of what ifs. The biggest what if, though, what if Gucci Mane was never Gucci Mane? What if he would have just came in early, phased out early? How would the Atlanta music scene ended up if it wasn't a Gucci Mane? Like, Gucci Mane was the one we know helped out the next generation, the new Atlanta at that time. We know Gucci Mane played a part in that. If you take Gucci Mane away from that, it'll be very intriguing to see what happened with the Atlanta music scene around that 2010, 2011, 12 era. Because by the time 13, 14 came around, they was on full blast go mode. So, yeah, man, I give a lot of credit to Gucci Mane. I always give him his flowers, give him his credit. That's nothing new. But, yeah, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in this episode, man. Like I said before, just want to lighten up the mood a little bit. Just come in on a good day, good sunny day outside, and just vibe with y'all real quick. But thank y'all for tuning in. This has been episode 260, Stash House Podcast. Make sure you guys go out, have a great work week, great school week. Stay safe in the schools, and stay safe everywhere, man. If you're on vacation, be aware of your surroundings, all that good stuff. Keep me in your prayers. I do the same for y'all. Salute.